Hey, what up YouTube, and welcome back to a new video with me, Ramzan YT. In today's video, we are watching Norway versus Brazil. I think all of our minds in Britain are, well, it's certainly in England, are taken up with the game later on tonight, which I will be doing a live watch along, hopefully be able to stay awake for. But I think this might be a more exciting game necessarily. Two teams that have been known for their attacking football this tournament. Norway up against Brazil. Brazil, well, they're always favourites for World Cup, aren't they, with the quality that they have in their team. Although, cast your minds back to 98 and Norway defeated Brazil 2-1. They'll be hoping for a similar level of performance, and I think their team is arguably the best it's ever been, led, of course, by Erling Haaland, no less. Brazil, well, a bit of disputing about whether it is a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1. We'll go with a 4-4-2 for now. They've got Liverpool's Alisson in goal, a back four of Santos. That's Douglas Santos, of course, of Zenit St. Petersburg. Gabriel Magalhaes and captain Marquinhos as the centre-back duo with Danilo at the right back. Midfield four of Gabriel Martinelli, Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes and Ryan. Guimaraes looking likely to be closing in on a move to Arsenal for just over £100 million from Newcastle there. And a front two of Vinicius Jr. and Man United's Mateus Cunha. Your team for Norway, they seem to be lining up in a 4-3-3 with Nyland in goal, Ryerson, Brentford's Adja, Hegem, and Wolf as being a back four. A midfield three of captain Ødegaard, who obviously plays his career football for Arsenal. Sander Berge, he's played, I think most notably for me, it's always a Sheffield United player, although I'm pretty certain he now plays for Fulham. And there is also a Berg, the Patrick Berg, who plays for Bodo Glimt. A front three of Sorloth, that man, Erling Haaland, who, well, Argentina will be hoping he can score. What, not Argentina, Norway, sorry, will be hoping that he can score. And Nusa, that makes up the front three. Be interesting to see how this game lies. Give me your predictions for how you see this game going. I'm actually going to go with a cheeky 2-1 to Norway. I did say on the radio that I potentially saw it going 3-2 to Brazil. I'm switching that up. I don't often like switching them up, but I think this could potentially go the other way. Carlo Ancelotti, the manager for Brazil, known almost globally for his tactics. Neymar does not start, of course, hasn't really featured in this tournament. And I would say probably for the benefit of his team. You look at other players of his generation, Messi, Ronaldo, Modric, have all, featured and blocked the potential position for someone else to be on the starting lineup. And Ancelotti not afraid to make the change. And we're just about to have Norway's national anthem, I believe. So, I mean, a lot of blonde people in this Norwegian national team. Slightly wet in the air by the looks of it. It's in New York, which I believe this stadium is due to host the World Cup final, actually. But the nonsense is it's raining here in the stadium, and they'll probably still have a hydration break, which for me is absolutely ridiculous. Well, just looking at what people are saying online, and I think a lot of people are saying that Norway could potentially cause an upset. We've seen a lot of upsets this World Cup. The likes of Paraguay against Germany, Cape Verde taking Argentina to extra time. Paraguay against France last night was not necessarily the worst game. We did do a live watch along for that one. France dominated possession, but it was a penalty which meant they got the winner, and Paraguay could maybe consider themselves unlucky not to have gotten something. We've currently got an ad break for ITV, which means we are closing in on to kick off. There'll be none of this on the BBC tonight as we watch the England game, of course. I'm hoping that one doesn't go into extra time because I will be absolutely shattered as it is. And if you are joining me for it, then all the best if you're an England fan, because that is a late one. Is everyone ready? It's going to be a good one. I am well and truly prepared for this game. And, well, just soak it all up, everyone. Round of 16 World Cup. We're getting deep into the tournament now. And, almost halfway through, actually, I think, the round of 16s, or almost there. Which, of course, means that we already know some of the games that are due to be played in the quarterfinals. We have actually got coming up as well later on this week an Iberian derby, Spain versus Portugal. Your referees for today, Ismail Elfaf leads it with the USA and Honduras, being the nationalities making up the refereeing on the pitch. Whereas for VAR, which I will go to now, we have got a Nicaraguan, a Uruguayan, and a Spanish person. Tatiana Guzman is the main VAR person. And we'll roll through the lineups quickly one more time, just for anyone who missed it. Brazil with Alisson in goal in 4-2-3-1. Douglas Santos, Gabriel Magalhaes, Captain Marquinhos, and Danilo in the back four. Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes are the holding midfielders. Your forward three are Vinicius Jr., Gabriel Martinelli, and Ryan, with Matheus Cunha being the number 9 leading the line. On the bench, you've got the likes of Ederson, Rafinha, Neymar, a very star-studded lineup. Norway's team's got Nyland in goal, Wolf, Hegem, Aja, and Ryerson in a back four in a 4-1-2-3. Sander Berge is at defensive holding midfielder, Patrick Berg and Martin Ødegaard, who is the captain today, in that attacking midfield. Nusa, Haaland, and Sorloth are the attacking three. Haaland, well, we know the capabilities he possesses. Oscar Bob on the bench, the Fulham player, as well as Derby County's Sondre Langas. I'm hoping he makes an appearance. He's not so far this World Cup, but it's always good to see your own club's players in the World Cup setup. Zetterstrom has had the better of the two two Scandinavian players at Derby County, and he looks destined to leave this summer. I wonder how Carlo Ancelotti is going to start tactically with his team. Probably a fair, decent attack. So Barkin has been known for his attacking prowess, utilising Haaland very well this World Cup. I mean, Haaland today could still get himself back into the Golden Boot race. We are about to kick off. I believe it's Norway to kick us off in this game. They're dressed in red and white, almost like Man United like. Brazil in their traditional yellow, blue and white. It's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper for Norway, who will power it downfield. It's a bit sort of dewy, foggy steam on the pitch. Certainly the conditions, not what we've quite been used to this World Cup. We've been a lot of hot weather, and it's already a Brazilian goal kick, which won't actually be taken by the goalkeeper. It's passed to Alisson. This is just ridiculous. What is going on? This is a faff and a waste of time. We've just wasted 44 seconds doing absolutely niche. Alisson launches it downfield. That's part of a minute wasted there. And it's just gone all the way back to Nyland in the Norwegian goal. Playing in all green today, orange gloves, orange boots. And he's wasting time and all. He pumps it downfield. Please don't go to him, goalkeeper. Okay. Well, it's chested out. It's not great by the Sorloff for Norway. He's just chested it out very cheaply. It's back with Alisson in goal in this purple head to toe. Norway have cut it out there and they've won themselves a throw in. Not bad at all. Throw in is taken defensively, very much so. It's back with the defensive line and maybe a bit of questionable decision making. I would have gone maybe forward in that position, but content to use the width players. A lot of European teams have been using this at the moment. Norway actually becoming one of the better teams in Norway. They've got themselves a throw-in. Fantastic bit of work out there by the number 26 who will take this throw-in. He goes forward this time. He gets the return as well. There's a sea of yellow and they've come away with it. Casemiro. But Norway quickly reclaiming the ball here. Haaland ahead of them. It's gone out wide instead to drag back and a shot comes in and it's a goal. A nice and early goal here. It is Berg. Patrick Berg. Oh, he's offside. Well, this will go to VAR, of course. But the lino has got his flag up. I thought we had a nice and early goal there from Patrick Berg. Is he off? Yeah, he's a yard off. Well, actually, Berg. It was the winger. Unfortunately, I think it was Wolf maybe who was off, who was one who was going forward out wide. But early warning signs for Brazil. Norway have already had the ball in the back of the net. So certainly says a lot about the capabilities they have in the attacking third. And Brazil starting a bit lethargically like they did against Morocco in the group stage. But they have grown into this tournament, Brazil, and we know what they are all about. Lovely bit of interplay by Norway, though. How many people would have thought before this World Cup, back to when thinking about when Norway didn't even qualify for World Cups in the 2010s, that they would be out-possessing the likes of Brazil. I don't think many people would have said that. But that's what's happening as Norway content to keep possession and Brazil content to let them have it at the moment. And you can't score if you don't have possession. Said that yesterday, as the case with Paraguay. It's flicked on. Oh, that's going to be a great run if he can manage to do that. So number 7. And he's forced to go back, but it's not too bad because there's plenty of options in midfield here for Norway. Brazil, I must say, absolutely nowhere to be seen. They're dominating midfield there with Ødegaard. They're just so clean as a team. The cross is going to come in a minute and it's gone out for a corner. I think it was Douglas Santos who got the last touch there. But we're right back. And it's the first corner of the game. Can Erling Haaland get his head on it? He's done it so many times. And he is being marked by the number 26, who is Ryan, the winger. A lot of the corner comes in. Erdegaard might be another option. I think it might be retaken here. Everyone's a bit confused. Ryan did something, and the corner will be retaken. Wasn't quite sure what happened there. Obviously, him and Erling Haaland have been the two players against each other in this corner routine. I was saying, as earlier, Erdegaard, the Arsenal player, well used to set-piece routines. It's headed up and cleared firmly away by Ryan, but that's actually more height than anything. And actually, the header isn't quite good enough, and Brazil can break here. They've got options out wide. Vinicius Jr. can't get past the four red-shirted men all around him. And Vinicius Jr. has been quite notably surrounded whenever he has been attempting to get the ball. Keep him quiet and you keep Brazil quiet, I think, is the motto of this World Cup. Norway holding it in the centre circle with Adja. It's progressed forward here quite nicely and cut out again there. It's hacked up in the air and flicked on by Ryan. But it's not ever going to get to Vinicius Jr. in that position. Where is Cunha in this position here? He should be the one who's up there, but instead, Cunha's taking a throw-in, actually, I believe. It was Wolf who kicked the ball out. Cunha's almost drifting out as a left winger by the looks of it at the moment. Brazil finally got a chance to get possession here. And Ryan drags it back to his midfielders. I think it might even be with Danilo. It's one of the midfielders. It's going forward with Casemiro. Cut through in. And it gone out to Ryan, who's done a little bit of a great work there. And the shot comes in, but it's no avail. The seconds will be replayed. Options. Plenty of options here. Number 8 decides to go across to Vinicius Jr., who is left unmarked. The tackle is not great, and Vinicius Jr. has managed to keep hold of it at the moment. It's just run out of play. Frustrating for the Real Madrid star, but shows early signs of what he's on about. He's doing a step over here and just completely wrong-footed Adja. That quality that he possesses, that Brazilian flair. The brute determination of Norway, though, has so far prevailed. And I don't mind this at all, to be fair, for the style of play. Burge with it now. The Fulham player going into the attacking half of Brazil. Forced to go all the way back. Intent to keep the ball, though. The number 8 for Norway, number-wise, looks so much like a flipping hourglass. It doesn't even look like an 8. It's almost square. But no foul, says the ref. And Brazil can break here. Lovely through ball. Cunha, I think it is, it's gone across. Adja slides in. I don't think there's a penalty. It's Cunha who can't believe it. I think it was Cunha who was the one who was looking like to get the ball, actually. We'll take a look at the replay. I think that might be a penalty, you know. He has got the ball. Different angles show different things. He's just skimmed the top of the ball, but he's got mainly the player. I don't personally think there's enough to overturn it, though. Marquinhos is going over to the refs, and there is going to be a VAR check. I can understand why. Adju is pleading his innocent here for Brentford man. Rafinha is not happy on the bench, by the way. Come on, there's a VAR review. Cunha just needs to keep calm here. All right. Marquinhos should be the only one speaking to him. He's going over to the screen. This is going to be interesting. Did he get enough of the ball to warrant it not being a penalty? I think there's a possibility that he didn't. We are going to look at this screen. I mean, from that angle, it looks absolutely horrific. It's going to be a stonewall penalty, I think, if they're showing that angle. After VAR review, it's a penalty. Not too surprising, I must say. I don't think he really got enough to touch the ball for it not to be considered a penalty. Adjia has conceded a penalty. You can't get away with stuff like that when there's VAR in action. I mean, she's gone sliding in. Stay on your feet. That's what they tell you as a centre-back, I swear. Stay on your feet. If you go diving in like that, you're much more likely to give away a penalty. And it all comes down to Norway's goalkeeper, Haaland, if he can keep Brazil at bay. Chance for someone to be a hero. Will it be Haaland in his green for Norway saving a penalty, or will it be Bruno Guimaraes? Add a couple of extra pounds on for Newcastle if he scores this, I imagine. It's done a little stutter and it's saved. Haaland has saved it. It was not a great penalty, in all honesty. Plenty of action in this game. We've had an offside goal and now we've had a save penalty. And Haaland rightfully punches his fist in the air in jubilation. As it were, still 0-0. Haaland rolls it out to Burge. And chance to go up the wing now in Norway. Opted for the safe option. All the way back to Haaland. That is just poor. Reminds me of the England goalkeeper kit from way back when. It must have been about 2016 or something. It's been a fair few years since we had a green one, but a very traditional kit that was. Thought Berg did some wonderful stuff there, but alas, it came to nothing. But looking at this penalty save, he's gone right, but he's guessed completely right, Haaland. It's that little stutter that Bruno Guimaraes did. It just meant that Haaland has time to compose himself. He tried to do what Harry Kane did the other day, or the other week rather, up against Croatia. Alisson with it now. But 15 minutes in, 0-0, but certainly not a boring game so far. Could have been very feasibly 1-1. But great heroics by the goalkeeper for Norway, and the offside flag for Brazil has kept it level. A long ball forward. It's great, Ryan, here. If he can get into the penalty area, he's released a shot too early and gone wide. Don't mind it. Don't mind that at all. I think Carlo Ancelotti will probably want his team to have a bit more possession. Nusa, by the way, I've been very impressed with so far. He's been working quite nicely on this near side. A lot of forward actions. The Brazilian Ronaldo is, of course, in attendance in the hospitality box. What a player he was. Norway have a throw-in their own half. It's taken short. There's a lot of options there. Brazil weren't too fussed about the marking. Why there's so much keeping it in the defensive half? Finally, Norway is deciding to run for. Oh, just as I said that, they opt to go back. Oh, and you've got plenty of great players who are forward players here. Keeping it around in your own half isn't going to feed the likes of Haaland or Odegaard. You know, the two big guns that they notably have. Nusa has it here with his highlighted hair. Almost looks Brazilian in that likes. I remember when, who was it? I think various players from Brazil over the years have had that silly highlighted tips of hair. Neymar had it at one point, Bruno Guimaraes at another. And Brazil come away with it. It's a 3v3 situation. Vinicius Jr. to the left. Cunha has opted to go off to the layoff to Vinicius. Tried to get the header, didn't quite manage it, and Nusa can break here. Haaland's in space, but he's opted to go back. That's not good decision making, in my opinion. They're still coming forward, though. Odegaard pushing it out wide. Halted firmly by Brazil's defence, and they've got a chance to break it on their own counter-attack. Game is opening up. And it's certainly worth saying that as we approach coming up towards 20 minutes, I couldn't tell you who would possibly win this game. It's been so enthralling of a half. A lot of action. Lovely little intimate play with Cunha there. We're coming in, and Nyland's come and done a save. Cunha couldn't quite get there. The Manchester United centre forward, formerly of Wolverhampton Wanderers, of course. One of them hidden talents which they recruited and then had to sell on and didn't adequately replace, and hence why they're in the Championship this upcoming season. Nusa collecting it quite nicely. Interplaying with Sanderberg. And a cross-field pass. There is, of course, on Norway's bench talking about Wolverhampton Wanderers' former players. Strand Jorgen Larsen, who obviously signed for Crystal Palace last January for quite a sizable fee and probably not quite deserved it, but had that great season in 23-24. But understandably, the firmer understudy to Haaland, but not a bad option to bring off the bench if Haaland does get injured, which I think for all Norway fans, that would be their worst nightmare. But as I said, not necessarily the worst position on the pitch for them if there were injuries. Nyland has it just on the edge of the penalty area, about to enter the D. He's surveying his options and opts to go cross a field as opposed to down and gets the return instead. Now this time a long ball forward by Nyland out to the wide areas. Again, having to be forced backwards because Brazil are just too defensively minded, which we've not been used to Brazil necessarily being over the years, but they are now. Likes of Bruno Guimaraes, of Gabriel Magalhaes, Marquinhos, great players, and of course the goalkeeper of Alisson. But Norway have it now in the final third with Ødegaard. Options are beginning to open themselves up here. Sander Berge has it now. There's a lot of options forward and he's opted to go back, and that's just frustrating. Possession control, 30% Brazil, 60% Norway, 10% in contest. Norway dominating this game so far, possession-wise. Nyland in goal. With the ball at the moment. Slowing the tempo right down. Inviting Vinicius Jr. to come and challenge him and then opting to go long. Berge. Opting for the cross out to his right. And gets the return. Come on, there's plenty of players up there. I'm not quite sure what formation they're playing, to be honest, Norway. I don't think it's any of the ones which have been listed. They're going forward. And that will be a free kick. Firmly off the ball, Ryan there. Can't complain too much. I think it was Wolf who took the tumble. All the players going up for this. Haaland controlling the people in the area with Ødegaard taking the free kick. It's probably about 35, 40 yards out. It's nearer the centre circle than anything, and he's opted to go sideways. Nusa has it now. Tricky run by the winger. He just needs to release it. He does. There's people all over him, to be honest, and they've managed to keep the ball quite well, actually. Nusa's got it back, and Vinicius has it. It's not Vinicius, sorry. It's Cunha, who will run at this Norwegian defence. Will that be a penalty? Cunha is adamant. It was Wolf, I believe, who was one who's tracking back. Certainly questions to be asked. Haaland gets it, but doesn't want it, so gives it back to Ødegaard. So, Sander Berge. Still 0-0, but we've had one offside goal and one safe penalty, so not a dull game, to say the least. Nusa. And opts to go back to the number 17. One of the many players on the pitch. I mean, it's quite a groovy number 7 they've got on the back of the shirt, actually, for Norway. Either way, they're progressing up on the right-hand side. Ødegaard. A little bit of triangles going on and fancy play. I mean, Brazil really haven't controlled possession, and we're not used to them not having possession as a team. Most of us come to expect Brazil to be the team more dominant in possession. Certainly haven't been so far. Sander Berge has actually been your very typical defensive midfielder. He's been spraying passes all over the place. I won't be surprised if he has a very good pass percentage record of success. Long downfield by Nyland. It's gone out wide, but it's too heavy of a touch in the end by Solon. And Brazil will have it in the just about the centre circle. Opting to go forward with a defensive duo. Marquinhos, cross field to Gabriel Magalhaes. Haven't seen much of these two interlinking much this game. And it's gone downfield to Ryan. Quick 1-2 with Guimaraes. Guimaraes gets the foot in for a defensive duty there. But Nusa can run. It's cut out quite nicely there by Casemiro. He's doing his defensive duties very well. Having to drop more deep nowadays. This is a penalty call for earlier. Cunha's gone down way too easily there, in my opinion. He's claiming a push, but it's too light. You've had one penalty and you fluffed it up, mate. Right, the hydration break it is. We all love the hydration break, don't we? But, well, 0-0. Looking at the game so far, I'd say Norway just marginally has it. Adja, I think, needs to be better, as does Bruno Guimaraes. Both of them have had some serious howlers in this game. Guimaraes with a very poor penalty, Adja with a very poor tackle to give away the penalty. Nyland being the best player on the pitch. Well, that's purely because of his penalty shave, let's be honest. Haaland hasn't quite had enough, and Sorloth as well. Not quite done enough at the moment. Nusa's probably been the most exciting player for Norway. And in terms of, well, for Brazil, Cunha's been all right. I mean, there's some decent areas. Same with Gabriel Martinelli. But Vinicius Jr. needs to get on the ball a bit more. Their star. I think the stars have been actually slightly quiet for this one. Brazil dominating the momentum so far. So it probably means it'll switch over to Brazil for the second interval because of a hydration break. Tends to mean it flips back over. But going into this, a lot of talking points potentially at this hydration break. The case of Norway saving that penalty, but also having the goal in the back of the net very early on, about 5 minutes in or so. But it was ruled offside. Coming up later on tonight, England versus Mexico. What a game. I'm wearing my England kit just for it. I'm really hoping we don't mess it up. At the moment, just sticking with the cream soda, the Coca-Cola and Thatcher's cider will come out later. I'll need it to stay up. But not mixing the drink together, by the way. Just to confirm. It is going to be a throw to Brazil to get us underway by the yellow. And it's gone all the way across field there, actually. Douglas Santos with it. Gabriel Magalhaes to Marquinhos. Marquinhos progressing the ball forward. Going cross field instead to Casemiro. A long lifted ball over. Great ball there to Ryan. It's cut in field. And it's lifted up. Can Vinicius get there? He can. And he's gotten away from his runner there very nicely. Martinelli has it. He's coming in the box. It's a save. The seconds by Ryan needs to be dealt with. And that's a poor cross. And Norway can come away here. Nusa's got, well, I think he's just got to deal with it. He's managed to win his team a free kick, actually. Done very well there. But, I mean, completely onside is Martinelli. Nyland's just got enough of a touch to prevent the cross from doing anything. He's stuck a leg out and got a weird deflection because it was going straight into the pass of Bruno Guimaraes, if not. Martinelli, yet again, proving himself being a threat. Half an hour in, 0-0 though, is the score. Did say the momentum will switch to Brazil because of that hydration break. Nyland takes this kick long downfield. Haaland might get a chance to run onto this. Alisson sweeps out and clears it. We're more used to the other Brazilian goalkeeper, Ederson, being the more sweep over two, but it's been known occasionally for Alisson to do such a thing. And, well, he's demonstrated right there as one of them. I believe that was Ronaldinho there in the crowd. Another one of them Brazilian legends. Berg. Patrick Berg, that is. There's a Berg and a Burge. Two different players. Very similar names. Nusa, who has almost a style of football which is almost reminiscent of a Brazilian himself, actually. His skill set and flair and beautiful wing play all around. He's in plenty of space, by the way, but isn't being picked up by Ødegaard, who opts to go back out wide. Ødegaard has a chance here. He goes over cross field to Berge, who will now find Nusa. Has a chance to run into the area. Too easily dispossessed there, in my opinion, by Guimaraes, and a chance for a Brazilian counter-attack. And marauding down the field is Danilo. Cut back to Vinicius Jr., who's cut right to the other side. He's tried to burst and do too much and has given away a goal kick. Frustrating. Carlo Ancelotti is frustrated as well. You expect better from Vinicius there. I don't know if Vinicius ended up playing under Carlo Ancelotti when he was at Real Madrid. Nyland with it now. Pumps the ball downfield. Haaland will run for this, and Alisson yet again coming out of his penalty area to clear it. Headed back downfield, but collected by Martinelli. Martinelli actually doing really well out of possession there. He's been everywhere, that man. Wow. This is interesting. Ødegaard with it now. Haaland does well to keep hold of the ball there, actually. Nusa can't quite get there. His pass isn't quite directed to him, and Brazil have a chance of breaking. Vinicius on the left-hand side to Bruno Guimaraes. Cutting out to Ryan, who gives it to Vinicius. Shot blocked. Got a second chance. The pass is smothered out nicely there by Sander Berge. It's gone downfield, but it's collected up by Danilo. Cunha is quite deep there, actually. It's gone with Ryan. Return. And back to Ryan. Bruno Guimaraes' cross is poor. Ryan has it now. Who was that to, mate? Well, Norway can have a break here because of a very, very sloppy pass. And Nusa has it in a great position. He's tried to cut through there. Ødegaard still got it. Bit of fortune more than anything. The shot comes in and it's just wide by the Arsenal number 10. Martin Ødegaard. Set piece prowess. And also turns out great at taking a shot on the turn. Just wide though. Don't mind the effort there. Don't mind the effort at all. Yes. Brazil can probably count themselves a bit lucky there that didn't challenge the goalkeeper, because I think it was a matter of inches away from sneaking into that bottom corner. Alisson then with the goal kick. Opts to go to Magalhaes as a short ball to Guimaraes. But cut out by Noosa. And great work by Noosa so far this game. Being really impressed by him. Sander Berge. Forward to Odegaard. It's out wide. Oh, that's a poor back pass. Too much pace on it. It's going to mean that they have to go all the way back to the centre backs. With the likes of Adjia. Progressive ball to come forward here. Adjia has a lot to buy way to improve to atone for his earlier mistakes. Noosa with a cross in to Haaland. It flicked up, but Alisson more than comfortable to meeting that. First bit of action for Haaland in this game, really. It's had quite a quiet game. The man who was born in Leeds to his Norwegian dad, and that's where he got the eligibility from. Apparently, he had nothing but other than Norway on his mind as the international duty to represent. Now playing for Manchester City, of course, although a boyhood Leeds United fan. But he is certainly built differently. Bruno Guimaraes, great through ball to Martinelli, who tries to flick on for Cunha, can't quite manage it. That will be a free kick. No, it is now. It's very delayed. It was Sander Berge who was caught. Just looking at the replay there, and yeah, right. I mean, Martinelli's just caught the bottom of his boot. Some nice play in this game so far by Norway. Out wide it goes. Great bit of wing play. A cross can come in here. It's not a great one. But we're fortunate to have a second chance. Oh, I have to rush all the way back to the halfway line because of a press by Brazil. Odegaard. Playing too deep, in my opinion, here. Sander Berge. Noosa now with it. Always looks exciting. Always looked like he's going to do something. It's a bit of a dramatic diving header there by Marquinhos. I'm not sure why. And Bruno Guimaraes can break. But he's instantly surrounded by Berg. Magalhaes brings the ball forward to Casemiro. A quiet game so far, Casemiro. Not a lot we've gone through him. Ryan on the edge of the box. Got two defenders covering him. Bruno Guimaraes is the option which has presented itself. It's gone forward to the number 26 for Brazil. Shot comes in by Cunha, well blocked, very, very tame shot in all honesty. But he'll get it back, Cunha. For some reason, he is far, far, far too deep, in my opinion. If he's meant to be the centre forward, he needs to be that man in the box. He's so deep. Marquinhos finds the winger in Vinicius Jr., who can't control it at all. Well, that's a poor bit of control there, and Vinicius Jr. has got it back. It's a save by Nyland. The centre-back there for Norway can consider himself very lucky that his goalkeeper has had a fine game so far. It was actually Odegaard. Not naturally a centre-back. Cheaply lost possession there. Again, not great tracking from the Norwegian centre-backs, though, to pick up Vinicius. Noosa. Oh, there's no one else ahead of him. And a great chance for a break. 5 minutes left of normal time. Alisson building up play out wide with Magalhaes. A chance to... Vinicius can't control it. It's gone out for a throw. Shown glimpses as Vinicius, such as forcing that save a matter of moments ago. But ultimately, they've been few and far between. And that's just being brutally honest. So, Sander Berge almost acting as a centre-back at this moment in time in a back 4 or 5. Often having to come quite deep now because Brazil are growing into this game. Nyland's gone long looking for Haaland. It's a great defensive header covering back by Douglas Santos. I mean, credit to Norway for not just trying to play Route 1 football, and trying to find the target man of Haaland, because they could have very easily done that. But they haven't. Nusa with it now has found Haaland with a lovely through ball. And it's out wide. This is a great chance here. It's gone for a corner. It's not bad. That's a great bit of work all round there. Erling Haaland not being selfish and going with a layoff instead to his fellow forward. It's going to be a corner then for Norway. Their second, maybe third corner. Got Ødegaard as the set piece taker. He's a very good one at that. He's not actually taking this one though. Burgers instead. It's headed away. It will come to Nusa, who heads it up without Real Madrid's direction. But the covering Norwegian does. That's going to be high in the air and easily claimed by Alisson. Alisson Becker, long-time Liverpool servant now. He's been there for a number of years and does not to be going anywhere soon. Casemiro, another servant for Brazilian football, certainly. Thankfully for Norwegians, they managed to just about recover defensively there and have a quick break on them, actually. There's 3 players ahead of him, but they've opted to go back. That's not optimistic play. Ødegaard to Nusa, who's almost as a sort of number 10 at this moment in time, often dropping a bit deeper because Berg tends to be moving forward. Very even match momentum, by the way. It's hard to tell, really, who's on top. Really even. It's so hard to tell which way this will go. I really couldn't tell you. Sanderberg going forward, and that's just not good enough for me. Going back to Nyland in that position, the worst possible choice. There's number 17 is for Norway. Absolutely awful. Been their worst player by far. No optimistic passes. No trying to be progressive. Is it Adja by any chance? When he gave away a penalty? If that's the case, he's had a mare of a game. I'd be thinking about taking him off if I was the manager. Long punt downfield by Nyland. Not least because I want to see Langas come on the pitch. But Haaland's gained the ball there. He's come deep though to claim it, and he's going to have to run far while his wingers have to stall for a bit of time for him to get into position. And cross can come in here. It's blocked and gone for a throw-in instead. Neymar has been absent so far as World Cup, nursing an injury, but You feel like at some point he's got to make a return. Throwing it will be then. Haaland is a very tall player. I can't quite get it further enough to reach him. A corner is won instead. Martinelli having to come back and do some defensive work. Another chance for Norway to show themselves at the set piece. Got 6 minutes of added time, by the way, and we've had one so far. So 5 minutes left. I don't know where they got all that time from, to be honest. I really don't. The whole sea of Brazilian players are following Haaland wherever he's going, by the way. It's up. Oh, there's no one there. It's gone all the way back to Nyland. Such an annoying game to do that. I mean, in positions like that, it was a bit unpreventable. But some of them have been far, far too easy. I mean, Norway have been by far the much more better team, I would say, in terms of. I think they've been very even. I would slightly tip Norway on the balance right now, mainly based on possession and what they've done in the final third. Managed to win a few more set pieces, but Brazil haven't been shy of chances. Just think the chances have maybe not quite resulted. Well, I think neither ones have really resulted in a clear-cut opportunity. Nyland gone downfield looking for Haaland. Could get there, Haaland. That's given away cheaply. Alisson has to make a save. Odegaard should be doing much better there, in my opinion. He's got time. I don't think he realises it. He had a bit of time. Haaland can't quite control it, but there's a miscommunication at the back. And Odegaard, I think, had longer, half a second or two longer to just compose himself to pull off that shot. And he's just snatched it and has seen Alisson make the save, which I think Brazil will be very much relieved of. So, still as you are, 0-0. Someone has to win this game, by the way. I don't think it ends goalless, though. Both of these teams at the moment very much strength lie in that final third. Vinicius Jr. He's currently got this Norwegian defence for toast. Long shot comes in. It's deflected up and Ryan will gain it. Another lifted up ball. I think it was Martinelli who was searching for the header. He's not offside as well, Martinelli. If he gets the desired contact, which he doesn't quite, he's just skimmed it. He's just missed it, and it wasn't too bad there. I mean, Odegaard has done great initially, by the way, in that chance a few minutes ago to get the ball. It's a good save by Alisson, actually. But ultimately, I think just a bit of composure by Odegaard was needed in that position. I mean, we've not got long left, about a minute. Norway look to end this half in possession. Maybe one more chance for the boys in red. Nusa has it. Cutting in field to Burge, who's done a great ball forward there. If Haaland can get there, can't quite, and Alisson will collect. On the floor is a Brazilian player, but The referee is playing advantage as Vinicius is coming forward. Vinicius versus Haaland. Is it Haaland? I don't know. Vinicius is begging for a foul or something. I can't quite believe what's happened. Wolf has pulled his shirt, but a fall like that is ridiculous. Don't be such a beg. Ridiculous. Is that going to be half time? Or are we going to see Nyland do an unnecessary goal kick? It is half time. I was going to say there's no need for him to do the goal kick at all. 0-0 at half time. Hello, you best by Toram Betov Mirzabey. Cheers for that, mate. Hugely appreciated. Let's go through the SofaScore ratings in this game. And, well, at the moment, I think Brazil have maybe just tipped it ever so slightly to their favour, mainly due to a bit of defensive blunders at the back. So, Alisson on a 7.3. Kept them in it right at the end there with a Ødegaard chance and a couple of great runs out. He's made 2 saves so far, both from inside the box, and he's had 2 successful run-outs. He's done what you needed to do, to be honest. Can't really fault his play. Douglas Santos on a 7.0. I think he's actually had quite a quiet game, in all honesty. He hasn't really made wrong, though. And that's what you sort of ask for your defensive players. 7 defensive contributions, won 2 out of 4 tackles, 4 out of 5 ground duels won. He was dribble past at one point. That is worth saying. That happens to see your best of them when you're up against the likes of Ødegaard on that side. Gabriel Magalhaes, 6.5. They haven't managed to keep the ball and retain it, and that's kind of a problem. He was also dribble past once. 6.7 for Marquinhos. He's been even less of a ball. Flipping it. Marquinhos has done literally nothing all game. Like, literally nothing. Danilo on a 6.7. I think he's had some good forays forward, actually, in terms of opportunities. He's had 3 recoveries. Did have an error leading to a shot and was dribbled past once. So has took a dent in terms of that regard, although he did also have a shot which was missed. He's actually been much more forward than maybe a typical defensive player. 7.2 for Martinelli. A couple of great crosses that just haven't quite been pounced upon at the moment. He created 1 big chance. He had 1 key pass, which, and of course, in terms of play, he's run the channels quite well. 9 carries, 2 of them progressive. Only lost possession 5 times. Out of his 25 touches, only 1 of them was unsuccessful. 6.8 for Casemiro. A bit of a quiet game for the experienced veteran at this point. He's had 2 key passes and a real big chance created. But I think we were expecting him to get on the ball a little bit more, dictate play a bit more. That's something that has really plagued Brazil at the moment, and that's why Bruno Guimaraes is also on the 6.2, as well as the fact he missed a penalty. I don't know why he was on the penalty-taking duties to begin with, and he also had a shot blocked deep into stoppage time. But he's had 1 key pass, and for me, not had a great game. Has not had a great game. That penalty miss is surely going to be the talking point of the halftime. 7.0 for Ryan. I think he's been quite decent. A lot of good tracking and runs, to be honest. Has had some great passes in that final third. 3 key passes so far. Has been a lot of his good forward momentum has been going through them wingers. 7.0 for Cunha. Has played a bit deeper than I would have liked to see him as your number 9. and has only had one shot accordingly, which was missed. If he's a bit further forward, he's going to get into better positions to score. So if I'm Ancelotti, I'm just saying, you're doing great, but just stay further forward. We don't need you covering, central midfield. That's the job of Guimaraes or Casemiro. 6.6 for Vinicius Jr. has been not great. He's had 2 shots, both missed, one on target, and one was a big chance missed. He comes in with heavy expectations, and he hasn't quite lived up to them, unfortunately, at the moment. 7.8 for Orjan Nyland. You can't complain. He's had 2 saves, one of them from a penalty as well. That definitely increases his stats. And another great save as well. It was, I seem to recall, as well. So, in terms of, he's not put a foot wrong, to be honest, Nyland. Can't fault him for it. 6.8 for Ryerson. I thought he sometimes got beat, to be honest. He's only won 3 out of the 6 ground duels, so half of them he's lost. He is against Gabriel Martinelli and Vinicius Jr., but he's not looked great, Ryerson. Adja, I've been not convinced on, and 6.1. Neither of the centre-backs, actually, I've been overly convinced on. He's had 1 defensive contribution, committed the foul which caused the penalty, was dribbled past once as well, and has been quiet and tail between his legs, to be honest. Hegam on a 6.9. Had to have done a lot of covering, but again, I don't think he's been great. He's not done a lot, but maybe you don't want your centre-backs doing a lot. 6.9 for Wolf. A lot of good progressive runs forward. That is fair to say. On 3 out of 4 of his ground duels as well. Not too bad from a wing-back. 6.3 for Ødegaard. A couple of key chances maybe missed, but I think as a midfielder, he's actually dictated play quite well. So I think because we're used to seeing him further forward, maybe a little bit disappointing in terms of his output in the final third. But in terms of passing-wise, if you wanted him as a central midfielder, he's done quite well. As has Sander Berge, actually. Your holding midfield on a 6.9. He's made 58 out of 59 passes on target. What a player he has been so far. There's only been 1 mislaid pass. So far, great all-round performance from a holding midfielder. 6.5 for Patrick Berg, who has been much more quiet. I'm not entirely sure why he's even that high, to be honest. He's just not done anything. Not gotten on the ball at all for me. Sorloth on a 6.3. Was offside once for that goal very early on. And then since that point, hasn't done a great deal. I'm going to be honest. 7.0 for Haaland. That's overinflated like mad. He had 1 shot that was saved, and that is it. He's not had the ball much, especially compare that with 6.9 for Nusa, who I think has been optimistic in what he's been trying to do. I think for the reason why he sometimes gives away the possession a little bit cheaply, but that's because he's always trying something, which I think I'd rather a player try something than, just sit back and lay it off. So, Nusa, I feel bad that you've been rated so low on SofaScore. I thought you had a better game so far. Clearly, the statisticians do not agree. We're, I don't think, too far away from resumption of play. Probably still about 5 minutes. But let me know if you've been watching the game. What is your overriding thoughts so far? Who do you think is going to win? I think it's so hard to tell. I thought a lot of people were saying, me included, that maybe there would have been a few more goals in this one. I thought maybe 2-1 to the Norwegians, is what I said before the game. I'm not going to change it now, but I think we might see some changes. Maybe not quite at half time, but the longer this game goes on at 0-0, you wouldn't necessarily bet against it happening sooner rather than later, because there's some quality, real quality on that bench. We're looking at the likes of, Fabinho, Rafinha, Neymar, Endrick, Igor Thiago. It's some decent players to bring on if needed by Ancelotti. And I think Oscar Bob might be brought on at some point. He seems to have been most of the time during these games. I want to see Sondre Langas come on. I don't think he will. But I'm not a huge fan of this centre-back pairing, if I'm going to be honest. But you never know. He might come on if they're trying to see out the game. You never know. I will be watching the England game later, by the way. We'll be starting just before 1 o'clock, probably about 15 minutes before kickoff is normally the time I like to start the stream so that we're not ridiculously early and having to waffle through several periods of just absolute nonsense and me talking. Because no one wants to hear my voice longer than it ought to be. And I don't want to speak for longer than I've ought to. But yeah, a lot of people putting things like altitude or messing around with fixtures, all these excuses coming into play way before the match. Apparently the England players have been taking Viagra to deal with the problem of the altitude. Some slightly interesting moves potentially. Yes, I think England's track records at the Azteca compared to the Mexicans. Apparently Mexico's only lost twice in their entire history playing at the Azteca. And obviously there's a hand of God moment to look back at for England all them years ago, back in 86, 40 years ago. Well, it could be a frustrating day. I've gone 3-1 England in my predictions for that one. I think we concede first, but I think our attacking output enables us to get through. But I'm not trusting our defence at the moment, especially like Jed Spence. But we'll talk more about that later on tonight, if you are staying up till the wee hours of the Monday morning, along with me. Good luck, is all I will say. I'm probably going to just try and pull an all-nighter-ish. Well, not quite all-nighter, but not bother going to bed after this live stream. And some of you are probably asleep who would normally watch my stuff in order to wake up for the England game. Don't blame you in the slightest. You're not going to watch this, though. Don't even know what I'm saying about it. 0-0 in New York between Brazil and Norway, where the World Cup final will be hosted here, actually. So Brazil have got a sort of testing out, if they do reach the final, of what this pitch is going to be like. At the moment, it's hard to tell. It's currently level. And it's been really even, actually. It's not even like one side's been very defensive and the other side has been very attacking. They just haven't quite scored yet. Both sides have had their chances. Norway got it in the back of the goal within 5 minutes, only to be ruled offside. Brazil awarded a penalty. The penalty was then duly saved by Haaland. Why is there a robot giving the ball to the referee just before this half? The ridiculous nature of some of the things which is going on in this World Cup. Oscar Bob is looking like he's going to be coming on at half time. Not too surprising, I think. Wonder who he's going to make way for. Fulham, obviously, and there was that whole thing about Danny Murphy, wasn't there? Having a cat, wasn't it, called Bob? Well, hopefully the game doesn't get that boring. Sorloth and Noosa are coming off, the wide men. Bit disappointed about Noosa. I thought he was all right. And Bob and Shederoop, that's a hard name to pronounce, Shelderoop, are coming on as well. But Oscar Bob, like least Norwegian sounding player of all time, is the one who's going to be coming on. He's a decent player, actually. He's had a very decent World Cup and is probably considered unlucky not to have started this game, considering his performances so far this tournament. Shows Norway's desire to go and push players forward more. I think they're looking to control the ball in the final third a bit more. Don't know much about this Shedrup guy. I'm going to really struggle pronouncing his name as well. Don't know much about him, I will be honest. Don't think Brazil are making a change. They are going to be the ones kicking us off. It's quite interesting because you would have thought that Brazil had the better of the two benches coming into this. And with the game's level, well, enough said really. Anyway, a long drive forward. I've seen it's going to be a goal kick. Slightly too much onto it by Alisson, but it wasn't too bad of a start of a routine. Just trying to find a run, I think maybe Cunha. Sam Matterface and Lee Dixon, your commentators on ITV, or you can listen to my wonderful voice and mute theirs instead. The throw-in for Brazil in their defensive half. Let's go through our lineups. Alisson, Douglas Santos, Gabriel Magalhaes, Marquinhos and Danilo. Casemiro in the holding midfielder. Gabriel Martinello, Bruno Guimaraes, and a forward three, Vinicius Jr., Matheus Cunha and Ryan. That's your Brazilian lineup. I'm having to learn to speak really fast because that lineup goes way too quick. Vinicius Jr. Cuts in field. Is that Cunha again, who's in flipping centre midfield at this moment in time? There's 4 or 5 players ahead of him. It's ridiculous. If that's the case, I think it might actually be Casemiro. So I'll give the benefit of the doubt there. The cross comes in, it's cleared the line for a throw-in. 9 in the goal for Norway. Wolf, Hegem, Agia and Ryerson. Sander Berge is holding midfielder. Berg and Ødegaard 2-2. Noosa came off a Schlandrup, Haaland and Bob, with Bob coming off the, I can't remember what his name was now, coming on rather for some geezer called, I can't remember. He had such a boring game. That was a handball, a very blatant handball by Ryan. So it will be a free kick for Norway in line with their penalty area just outside the box. I mean, you can have no complaints about that. A lot of marks already emerging on this pitch, by the way. It's not quite as carpeted as some of them. That will be a free kick. Oscar Bob has won his team a free kick. His first real bit of action. And it's taken defensively awfully so. By Ødegaard there. Not a fan of that. In fact, Erdegaard is playing incredibly deeply. I'm not sure why he's playing so deep. Oscar Bob's in flipping space if they look for down the line, but at the moment they're not looking that way. An option to go all the way back to... Why? Don't go back to the goalkeeper. It's just so annoying to watch. Erdegaard has it in space. He can run. Oscar Bob's in plenty of space out wide if he wants to use them. He actually goes infield instead to Berg, who's just flipping it. That's the worst shot I've ever seen, Berg. Well, the less said about that, the better. "49 minutes, almost in the 50th minute, and that effort, very wayward. I don't think they're even going to show a replay. Oscar Bob already in the spaces that were just not occupied in the first half. The difference is stark. Sander Berge to Erdegaard. Opting to go to his wing back. And we get a return though. Oscar Bob with it now. Goes short to Erdegaard, who can't manage the return, but there will be a throw-in for Norway. An opportunity maybe to go long. I doubt it will by the looks of it. And it just goes with a 1-2. That's a throw-in apparently. Ryerson, who was the one taking the throw-in, can't believe it. Douglas Santos will now be the one which will take the throw-in. Ryerson was adamant that it was a free kick. Hooked way upfield, headed on quite confirmingly by Adja. Sander Berge. Option for number 3 to come forward here. Ryerson has it. He has a 1-2 with Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob has it again. Lovely little triangles emerging. Oscar Bob tries to do a run, but there's just too many players in yellow. I like the effort. Haaland is almost acting like a defender to prevent the defensive players from passing back to their own defenders here. It's a weird tactic, it must be said. And with it's all in the midfield at the moment for Norway. Brazil putting every player behind the ball. Very defensively resilient at the moment. Norway can't quite unlock it. Sander Berge is forced to go backwards. It's called stat padding, that, because not many of his balls so far have been progressive. When people look at data, you can see that, he can control the ball a lot and keep that possession. But in terms of, it doesn't go forward enough for my liking. Erdegaard is also playing way too deep for Norway. They need him higher up the pitch. He's almost in line with Sander Berge, and sometimes Sander Berge going further forward actually. Ryerson, Oscar Bob. We'll go back to Sander Berge. See, Erdegaard here is almost like a centre-back. That's not his game. Erdegaard in centre circle. That's a great ball, actually. Opportunity outright with a Schlunderup geezer. As I said, I'm not going to be able to get his name. It's a Brazilian throw-in. On the far side of the pitch. The throw-in is taken. Haaland's managed to come away with that. Scurries it out wide. Thing is, they haven't, by taking off Noosa, they've taken off a person who's willing to take on the defenders. Instead, opt to go a bit safer. Vinicius starting Brazil's first attack of his half. And it will be a goal kick. Came off you last, Vinicius. Can't believe it. Adja's adamant it came off Vinicius, and I thought likewise. Came off one of them. It's just whether Vinicius had the touch or not. Anyway, Cunha to take this corner kick. Brazil's first foray forward in this second half has resulted in this corner, so Brazil haven't had many corners yet. It's not a great one, and Norway have a chance to counter if they go with a quick cross-field pass to Oscar Bob, which they do not do. See, it frustrates me. If I was Oscar Bob, I'd be so frustrated. I've come on at half-time, done everything right, got in the right spaces, plenty of gaps, no one's putting the ball to him. It's such a frustrating thing to witness as somebody who, likes a lot of the off-the-ball stuff. It's beautiful to see. Ødegaard is still playing too deep, by the way. Oscar Bob coming forward. Goes out wide to Ryerson. Correct option there chosen, I think. Ryerson's gone in field to Ødegaard, who's gone backwards. So Adja, why? Ødegaard needs to be progressive. I feel bad for Haaland in this game, by the way. It's been so... I don't want to say lethargic, but backwards speaking. Oscar Bob's managed to receive a great pass from Ødegaard. It's out wide. Come on, you just need better quality passes in the final third. So at the moment, that's where the problems are. It's going to result in a throw-in for Brazil. Because, well, let's just say it now. It's not a performance necessarily that I think the Brazil teams of old would be used to. Like, Kaká, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo. They wouldn't have been used to this type of football being played against them. A great opportunity for a throw-in here for Norway, which they waste by going backwards. Ødegaard opting to go cross-field to Burge. They're just not clinical enough in the final third. Like, they're in a great position here, and they're yet again going backwards. So frustrating. Put a cross in. Waited too long on the ball and has got a throw in instead. Finally, Brazil has decided, Ancelotti's decided he's seen enough and was making a change. Absolutely warranted this. Cunha's day is over. Matheus Cunha will be coming off for Endrick. A lot of people have said a lot of things about Endrick and about his potential and potentially his ceiling that he's reaching. He's a very young lad. apparently watched Bobby Charlton growing up. That's something I'm not too sure, to be honest. But in terms of, he's a great, very studious man of football, is Hendrik, and looks to emulate the greats, which is always something to love to see. Ryerson. Oscar Bob gets the return. Oscar Bob has it again. Erdegaard with it now. The pass is poor. It's cut out by Casemiro, who will now launch it to Vinicius. Chance for a great counter-attack here. Hendrik one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's tried to stay away and he's just wide. Instantly proving why he is tipped for such good things. It's a great counter-attack. Vinicius with a cool touch and a wonderful ball to Hendrik. He's got all the time in the world. He's just left it too late. And has just got it too wide there. But early warning signs of sort of what this kid's all about. And he is literally, I think, a kid. Is he still 17? I'm going to check on my phone how old he is. 19. Still a teenager. Still got a lot to learn in the game. But has been, so far, somebody who a lot of people have had a lot of respect for. Comparisons maybe even with Lamine Yamal. Similar sort of bursting on the scene of that youthful age. Long ball down by Nyson. This is a great chance here. Norway in a great advancing position. Oscar Bob. He's trying to do too much, in my opinion, there. And Brazil managed to deal with it quite comfortably. There was an opportunity there. He just didn't know whether to shoot or pass, and it ended up doing neither in the end. Game opening up again, lifting up ball to Hendrik. Hendrik's got the pace, but not the composure. And it's gone well wide and high. I think it may have taken a deflection. So maybe not to be too uncharitable for him, as he has won his team corner. And an opportunity. Another corner for Brazil during this half-time. Since half-time, the second. Norway have a lot more height. Bruno will be the one to take it now that Cunha has vacated the pitch. Punched away by Nyland and then headed on by Bob. Lifted up forward. It comes to Hendrik, who's taken a shot. It's spilled, but a great save ultimately by Nyland. And a chance for a counter-attack. I can't quite find Haaland with that. And Gabriel Magalhaes safely smothers it to the goalkeeper. It might be Douglas Santos, actually, who did that back pass to Alisson. Progressing forward are Brazil. They're beginning to warm into his half, having generally not had much possession. Vinicius Jr. with it now. Vinny's gone in field. Cross comes in. It's another great save. Nyland has been called a lot into action. It was Bruno Guimaraes with a shot, yet again denied by the Norwegian goalkeeper. I mean, it may have been offside in the end. But Bruno Guimaraes, it's not a bad effort, but it's a great save again. Determined to keep a clean sheet this game. Ryan had a shot earlier before that as well, which was excellently parried. And so far, he's my man of the match. Nyland here has met everything coming to him with excellency. Ryerson is coming off. Orsnes is coming on. Well, I can't say I blame the substitution there. Much rather it would be Langas coming on, but oh well. His timing will come, I'm sure, at World Cup. Maybe not this one, though. And Orsnes already having that extra bit of injection of pace and this great ball. And Haaland can't quite deal with the ball he's received. But it's already this Orsnes geezer filling me much more with confidence. He's foraying forward. But he's almost, a third centre-back in a sense. But can roll forward if need be. It's a very fluid back three almost. Berg with it now. And ups to going forward. Berg is quite deep at this moment in time. And eventually gets the return. Giving it to Orsnes. To Oscar Bob. Whole change down that flank. I've got Vinicius Jr. worrying a bit. Sander Berge. Options opening up on the left-hand side as well as Brazil are forced to focus on the fresh legs on the near side. Opportunities then for Norway to do a cross. Not too bad there. I think it might be a corner. Did Alisson get a touch there? I think Gabriel Magalhaes's high five to Alisson seems to be implying that, definitely came off Gabriel Magalhaes, even if it did come off Alisson. It was tipped by Alisson and then deflected further behind by Gabriel Magalhaes. Haaland was lurking. Ødegaard to take this corner kick. Could we see a breakthrough here? The changes from both sides have changed the dynamic fundamentally. It's headed away by Brazil. They will get the seconds though, Norway. And the scheduled loop, geezer, has certainly changed a lot on that side as well. It comes in, there's a chance. Haaland diving in there on the near post. Can't quite get there. Wasn't a bad cross at all by Adja. It was looking like he might just turn it in for Haaland. We've seen it so many times happen in the past for both club and country. Just moments, inches away, really. It's not bad at all. We know Haaland cuts quite an imposing figure. But, the Manchester City striker yet to get on target. And, Martinelli's coming off, as is Ryan. In their place comes Neymar Jr. and Danilo Santos. Neymar finally back. What a classic. A name of all the generations I've heard of so many times before. But can he make something change? Well, he's going to have to wait because we're going to have a hydration break firstly beforehand. Oh, well. That's quite disappointing, really. But so far, much similar game to the first half. But in terms of Oscar Bob has certainly been the one who's impressed me massive upgrade on the left-hand side, or right-hand side rather. Shedler-Roop, not so much convinced that he's better than Noosa. Yet to impress me on that. Endrick, well, he's probably not had enough time, but I don't think at the moment. He's shown some good signs of potentially doing some great work. Nyland at the moment, though, has so far kept his team well and truly in it. And they can maybe consider themselves unlucky not to be ahead, but also maybe unlucky not to be behind. That Haaland glancing just that trailing leg, which couldn't quite form a connection. If it did, we may have seen a goal. Makes you question why Endrick wasn't starting, but Cunha was also a good option. I might cover the Argentina versus Egypt game and the Switzerland versus Colombia game on Tuesday. If you were interested in them ones, as well as obviously the England versus Mexico game tonight. I don't know what games are on tomorrow. Or what time? Portugal v Spain, I'll be able to watch and do a live watch along. I'm not doing a live watch along with USA versus Belgium, and I will do Argentina versus Egypt and Switzerland versus Colombia. But so we'll do the Iberian Derby tomorrow. We'll do in the early hours England, and come Friday, hopefully I would have written a script in time to do the National League North and South predictions as well. And there'll be posts coming out for my Tier 7 down to 10 predictions, starting off tomorrow in my Tier 7 ones. They are all written up and ready to go. So, back underway. 20 minutes left to go. Well, 25 minutes left to go because of a hydration break, and still 0-0. So a lot of this game could well end up going to extra time, to be honest, because they're two very evenly matched teams. And I think it's whoever makes a blunder more likely than anything who is going to win this game. Well, that's lifted way too far and has gone into the hands of Nyland. Tut, 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 Bruno. Just far, far, far too much distance in that. Norway, chance to, that's a great run. It just doesn't result in anything, but the seconds Oscar Bob has managed to wonderfully win. He's on the right-hand side, but we're going with Haaland on the left. And still got it. It's in the penalty area. There's a whole crowd of Brazilians, and it's just a slip at the wrong time for Norway. The danger signs are there, though. I will not be surprised if Norway score in the upcoming moments, because they are building something here that is certainly look like they've taken on some great tactical advice during that hydration break. And that's why people are loathing it so much, because it does change the game format a lot. So, Norway back with the goalkeeper, all in green in Nyland. And opts to go short there. I don't know if that was the best option. Well, Brazil have it now in the final third. Well, that's not a good ball ultimately by Vinicius Jr. I can see what he was trying to do, but he just didn't quite come off. That is a free kick. The Brazilian player using his opposite number as a stepladder. Are we going to have a view of this replay of this set piece? No, just a random guy on his phone. It's probably meant to be someone famous that I've never heard of. But, well, that is it. Norway coming forward. And there's a lot of options ahead, but not any in the immediate. It's a good through ball there, actually. Thing is, Haaland is a combination of too far forward in this game at the moment to have a real impact. He needs to drop. They need someone who. Well, it's because Ødegaard, to be honest, is too deep. Because I think people expected Ødegaard to be the link between the two. And at the moment, Ødegaard is playing as defensive midfielder and competing with balls for Burge that just doesn't need to happen. Haaland has got the ball here and has managed to lay it off nicely, actually. It's gone to Oscar Bob. It's a opportunity to go forward. Finally, Ødegaard's in the right position. The shot comes in. It's great save by Alisson. It'll be a throw-in, I think. It was that Schlunderloop who did it, and it's a great save by Alisson. One he was expected to make for sure, but it was a good save nevertheless. He's probably still up there as one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. You could definitely say that he's one of the better Liverpool players as well. You know, you look at him, the likes of him and Salah, that core of that Liverpool team that's been there for so long, and only now beginning to be fractured a bit, you know, with the likes of losing Trent Alexander-Arnold and Jordan Henderson and Sadio Mane, who was that team, so much success between them. Norway working their way down the left. An opportunity for a cross. That's going to be a corner, is it? No, it's kept in play. Quite nicely done, actually, by Danilo. And, still 0-0 in the 75th minute. And as the game goes on, the more cagey it's going to be, the more open it will be as both teams try and throw more players forward to prevent it going to extra time and then leaving gaps at the back. It's a war of attrition. Norway has had it for a substantial period of time at the moment. As is Ødegaard, but just not in an effectual position. But he has been moving more further forward now since that hydration break. I think he has been told by his manager, you know, you need to go further forward to interlink play a bit more. I won't be surprised if that was the instructions. I mean, it's certainly something I could see. I mean, surely Ancelotti just says you need to get into the ball. 230 passes completed for Brazil compared to 503 for Norway. You can tell which teams had the more bulk of possession. Is that ball going to get to Haaland? It doesn't, because he took a tumble. It has been, though, given a throw-in for Norway. Another substitute coming on for Brazil, but we're going to have a throw-in first. So it'll be at the next interval, I imagine. The Norwegian team are not waiting around for any substitutes. A ruthlessness. That'll be another throw in. Will we still be substitutes now? It's also another one for Norway. Yep, substitution underway. The Edison, who is not the goalkeeper Edison, is the one who is coming on. And coming off is Bruno Guimaraes, whose day has just been disappointing, to be honest. He had a poor penalty that was saved by Nyson, and also a shot that was saved again. Edison Silva, if you were interested in which Edison we're referring to. Not too familiar of a name, to be honest. Probably one of the new ones on the block. There's a lot of them in this World Cup. And you get to learn about these players, and that's kind of why we like the tournament. It's a great opportunity for a cross here. I thought he left it too late, but he didn't. And Erling Haaland has broken the deadlock. I thought he may have left it too late for the cross, but you know, when you've got a almost 2 meter tall striker, it's going to be you just need to aim in the box, and more often than not, he'll score. Well, 1-0 to Norway, and I have to say it's been coming for the last 10 minutes or so. And they always say just after substitution is when you turn off the most, and I think we're well and truly proven it right there. You know, when you make a substitution, all your mind should just briefly switch off, and that was enough for Norway to switch on and score. They only have about 10 minutes normal time, maybe 15 minutes in total to hold on for this. It's a wonderful bit of play by, I think, Schlundelup for the assist. I thought he got the time and should have done it quicker, but actually, it's a beautifully weighted cross. But player who I can't pronounce, number 21 for Norway, must take the headlines for that. He won't, because it's Haaland who scored it, but the assist was the reason why it happened. I mean, it was a beautiful goal in all honesty. But, yep, Norway 1, Brazil 0. We've seen this script before, 1998. It was Norway 2, Brazil 1 at that point in proceedings. And Brazil now have to score, and they leave themselves vulnerable at the back by doing so. Pushing downfield, Erling Haaland's got it again, but ultimately Marquinhos does enough to claim the ball. That's going to be a free kick for Brazil in a defensive position. Brazil looking like they're going to be taking the flight back as it stands. I mean, is it presumptuous to say that Norway could be the dark horses this World Cup and potentially even reach the semi-finals or finals? I mean, just looking at this team at the moment, they've been actually incredible. Nothing short but incredible. And we thought, they might have come to the end of the road against Brazil. Well, not quite. And this was a game a lot of people were wanting to watch for the neutrals, because it was billed as two attacking teams going at each other. And ironically, it's been quite a low-scoring game, but partly as a testament of a defence. Neymar to take a corner. He's not really been involved since he's come on, to be honest, Neymar. Yeah, in the quadrant, mate. Here it goes. And that's just headed up. I think it was Adja who headed it in the end. There'll be another corner kick. A Brentford man doing his defensive duties, atoning for that penalty earlier that he conceded, but was helped out by his goalkeeper. The ball floats in. It's headed up. Comes out to Neymar. He's still got that flair and skill. But he just keeps on to it too long and it's dispossessed and it'll have to be recycled. And Vinicius Jr. has it now. Oh, he's left the ball for too long and Oscar Bob will break. An opportunity here for a fast break. It's a 3v3 situation. Oscar Bob has it now. Brazil managed to get back. There was certainly momentum building. Oscar Bob has it again. Erdegaard. It's all the way back in defence, and the counter-attack has sort of petered out. Which is a shame because I thought that was a good opportunity. We just needed to carry on going. Try and get past the defence. I suppose when you're 1-0 up, you don't tend to want to make too many more risks and committing more men forward than you need to. And I think that maybe just played into the thoughts of a few of the midfield players in that one. And it's still very cagey, and it will be until a 2-goal cushion anyway. Because we know the quality of this Brazil team face. I mean, the Norwegian fans are having an absolute whale of a time at the moment. And rightfully so. The nation can be very proud of what they've done this World Cup. I mean, this is the best Norwegian squad we've ever had, and that was a great chance. The shot was just tipped wide. Thought it may have just snuck in there, actually. It came from within and nowhere. It was a very long-range speculative effort. We'll see the replay in a minute, but headed away, headed back into the mixer. It comes out to Vinicius Jr. instead. And there's a chance here. Glanced across the face of goal. Casemiro can't believe it. And I think he's playing a bit, the goalkeeper there, being injured. But in terms of Casemiro's effort, that's just across the face of goal. And I think Neymar just needs to jump at it, to be honest. The other one, though, absolutely, it curls the goalkeeper a bit off the line and he's scrambling Nyland there. Which I think is actually where the injury can come. I mean, the referee saying this is being added on this time. And understandably so. I mean, I don't think anyone was expecting the shot to come. Saw Nyland a bit off his line and decided to take a chance. It wasn't far off. Throw in from Norway in the defensive half, and they decided to go long, probably wisely so. There's a long way to go when you're at this point in proceedings. Norway are on the attack out on the right-hand side. Cutting field to Erdegaard. And this Arcandes, or whatever you call him, has been very good since coming on. Not as good as this man, Oscar Bob. Oh, he's just done the man there. Very, very well. Erdegaard has it, and he's won his team a corner kick. Erdegaard's, hyping up the crowd. Great work at the moment. There's a bit of a nervousness around this corner. I mean, as long as it stays in that half, Norway are going into the next round. It's taken short. We won't find out until later on who they play. I think it might even be the winner between England and Mexico. It's gone far downfield. Goalkeeper to goalkeeper into Alisson's hands. 1-0 Norway. A couple of minutes from extra time, which will probably be having at least 8 minutes, I would imagine. So, in all honesty, we just seem to have exuberant amount of not exuberant, sorry, extraordinarily long periods of extra time nowadays. Exuberant is a completely different word. Vinicius Jr. has been dispossessed, claiming a free kick, not getting it. I mean, just having a look at that chance earlier. What an opportunity. It'll be a shame if Nyland has to come off, So he did pull something. He's been a great player in this game. And Norway have it again. Erling Haaland with a shot and a goal. Goal. Erling Haaland makes it 2. That is why many consider him the greatest footballer at the moment in the world. And you can't really blame him for it. He's an absolute goal machine, a Norwegian striker. He's made it 2. All too easily, to be honest. You give that man space in the penalty area and he will score. We were too busy looking at the replay of that chance that Brazil had moments before. Schlunderlund giving the ball to Haaland, using tons of space, no defenders around him at all. Edison Silva maybe should have been picking up his marker there. No one's marking him. And, he's got a cheeky Megs as well. Megsing Danilo. Oh, that is... What a goal. And Megs in a goal as well. Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Haaland, he's a different beast. He just is. And Norway have pretty much confirmed themselves into the quarterfinals. 7 minutes of added time. I don't see Brazil managing to overturn that within the 6 minutes we have left of it. They have to just rush everything forward. It's been an enjoyable game, and certainly one that I think Norway deserve to have won. They've been far the team that have dominated possession, and Brazil, like a few games this tournament, have looked off it. And, we did mention this 2-1 prediction is still well on, for Norway to win 2-1. Because I think maybe Brazil get one back as a bit of a last-ditch desperation. Well, in the ball comes for Brazil. Comes out to Vinny. Cross. Oh, there's just so many red shirts back. At the moment, Brazil can't get anywhere. Because they're throwing everyone back as possible. Bring Langas on. We want to see Sondre Langas. I think he was involved with the pre-tournament friendlies. I don't think he's made a single appearance yet in the actual World Cup. Working down the wings are Brazil, cutting infield. Danilo with a cross field ball. The cross comes across the face of goal and well cleared by Rennes. And will peter out to not a great deal. Brazil will come again, but when you're playing an almost 5-4-1 at this point on Norway, even though we don't necessarily have the players to utilise that, I think they've just put Sander Berge further back to make it a back five. Haaland being the one outlet, and everyone else in the midfield has sort of dropped down a bit deeper. We're all lining up. Shot comes in, blocked. Seconds. And running forward of I think it might have been. I don't know who it was, but we're looking at a replay of that goal instead. And that will be, the headlines for the Haaland brace getting through the legs of his opposite number. It's unfortunate for Danilo, vastly experienced player. Ostigard has been the one which I think has been decent enough, and opportunity maybe to even get a third there. It's all turning a bit aerial, and Norway smell blood. The Vikings look to be bloodthirsty. Adja has come off. Ostigard is the one who's come on in his place. I don't think that changes a great deal, to be honest. Chance for a cross. It's flicked up. It's all a bit messy at the moment. Oscar Bob laying it off. Going to Ødegaard, who's won his team a free kick. Yellow card has been brandished to Neymar, I believe. 10-on-10 action. And can't complain too much there, Neymar, about that decision. He's not got the ball in the slightest. Ødegaard celebrating that free kick because, the set-piece dead ball specialist for Arsenal has a chance to do wonders here. And when you've got Haaland as the target, that makes things even easier. Not long left as well, It means that Haaland is now equal with Messi and Mbappe on 7 goals. If he scores one more, he's in pole position to get this golden boot. It's a race which is very much hotting up. Ødegaard. Not far off from the edge of the penalty area, actually. Well, everyone thought it was going to go across field past there, and then didn't. And instead, it's going to be a Brazilian throw-in. Bit of a scrap going on. Bit of a needle going on. Not sure why that's really started, to be honest. Referee needs to sort this out. Fabinho coming off the flipping bench to have a scrap involved with this. What are you doing, mate? Just get on with it. Just to confirm, it is Neymar who's received that yellow card from that foul earlier. We've almost finished the game. And almost seeing Norway progress to new heights. Unprecedented levels in Norwegian football at the moment. They're fastly turning into one of the world's favourite teams to watch. You can so see why. It's some beautiful football. And last chance for Brazil to score. It won't make a blind bit of difference. A free kick comes in. What's I don't know what's the complaints, what's being given here, because there's one player holding on to the head. Looks like Ostigard took the elbow to the face against Casemiro. And already tensions all bubbling up. Is it another penalty? Another penalty is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, is it unfortunate Ostigard there? I mean, when you go up with your arms like that, there's always a danger that you give away a foul. And in that type of position, it is going to be another Brazilian penalty. And Nyland, yet again, having to become a hero. But this time, it will be Neymar taking the penalty, as he's done so many times for the country. This was surely the last kick of the game. Well, my 2-1 prediction looks like it might be coming true. So, nerve of steel required for this moment. Slow run up, and it is scored. Neymar has got one back. I mean, it matters very little, because that's going to be the last kick of the game. So, 2-1. We played almost 100 minutes of football. Surely the ref just blows up at this point. Neymar's giving it the big I am. But in all honesty, Brazil have been abject this tournament. Just blow the flipping whistle, mate. There's no point in having a kick off. What is this time? Well, it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper who'll just launch it down the field. And that's the last kick of it. What is going on? I have no idea what's going on here. No idea at all. They're having to do the kick-off again, because one of the Brazilian players ran into the box, I think, or the circle, before kick-off. What? Brazil have it again. What in the stoppage time's going on? It's claimed by the Norwegian goalkeeper. We'll waste time and then just pump it down the field. How much, mate? How much longer, mate? Come on. Blow the whistle. And that is time. Flipping heck. How much added time was there for absolutely nowhere, to be honest. But Norway have made it. 2-1. Let's go through the SofaScore ratings. As predicted, it has ended 2-1. Alisson on 6.6. Well, he did concede 2 goals, but at the same time, he did make 3 saves. I mean, could have prevented at least one of the goals from going in, definitely. He made 3 saves in total, so he actually didn't have a lot to do. I think his defence is more culpable. Douglas Santos on a 6.9. He's certainly not. Had 11 defensive contributions in all and won 6 out of 7 ground duels. 6.3 for Gabriel Magalhaes. not a great game from him, in all honesty. He was dribble past once, and he had 10 defensive contributions, 7 of which were clearances. Shouldn't necessarily be needing to go that deep, though. Marquinhos on a 6.3. I thought he was one of the worst players on the pitch, in all honesty. Didn't do the dirty work, which is what you need to do as a defender. And you thought someone of his experience and know-how he would have done that. Danilo on a 6.7, 11 defensive contributions, won 5 out of 7 ground duels, 6 recoveries. I thought he had a decent game, Danilo. I mean, I know he was megst in the second goal, but, 7.4 for Gabriel Martinelli. I think once he came off Neymar, things did actually slowly start getting a bit worse. He made 1 big chance, had 2 key passes. He was a good player, whereas Neymar on a 6.8 obviously scored a penalty, but didn't do much else other than that, to be honest. 7.1 for Casemiro. He's the one who had a much better second half, actually. His game vastly improved. 1 big chance created, 2 key passes. He did step up in that second half, didn't he? 6.1 for Bruno Guimaraes, someone who absolutely didn't step up to the plate. It was him. 1 key pass, but should have had a much more successful pass rate than he did. He came off for Edison, who was on the 6.2. Again, this Edison Silva guy definitely culpable for some errors. He probably should have picked Haaland for the goal that was conceded. Hardly had any touch on the ball, to be honest, considering he had about 20 minutes actually of play in the end. Should have done much more. 7.0 for Ryan, a decent player. I don't think Danilo Santos was anything on him, to be honest. 3 key passes in the end. Again, would have liked to see maybe a few more passes out to the wings, but Danilo Santos on a 6.9. Wasn't the worst substitute. Vinicius Jr. on a 7.3. Always going to be a good game from Vinny. And it turned out to be. I mean, most of his good efforts came in the first half. In the second half, he sort of slowed down a bit. Matheus Cunha on a 6.9. He had 1 shot which he missed. I think he was too deep most of the time. And once they brought on Endrick, who has only been given a 6.4, which I think is unfair for the lad. Endrick played much further forward and had 2 shots. I mean, 1 hit the woodwork and 1 was blocked, and he missed 1 big chance. But I don't think he was actually that bad. I think it's that sort of sofa score baked in biased. 7.9 for Nyland. Shame he conceded late on that penalty shootout. Nothing he could have done about that, to be honest. He made 4 saves in total. Very solid goalkeeper. If he kept a clean sheet, I probably would have given him man of the match. But, Haaland with the 2 goals will be the one who gets the man of the match for me. Ryerson on a 6.8. Again, I didn't rate what he did a great deal, to be honest. I thought his successor, who came on for him on the 6.6, Orsnes, wasn't actually a bad option. 6.7 for Adja. Did atone for his mistake in the first half with a phenomenal defensive job in the second half. I mean, he was drilled past twice, fouled once with that penalty he committed, but won 3 out of 4 aerial duels and was definitely growing more accomplished into the second half. 6.8 for Hegum, much the same as the first half, to be honest, just a bit bang average, to be honest. 7.2 for Wolf, came off with what appeared to be an injury for Ostergaard, but I thought he had a very good game, to be honest. 3 out of 4 ground duels he won. He was pushed back a lot of the time and would have liked to see him maybe move forward a bit more. But he came off for Leo Ostergaard, which hasn't been given a rating because didn't play enough of the game. 6.3 for Odegaard, played far, far, far too deeply for my mind. He needed to be both for me, more centrally and more in dangerous positions. And you look at the sort of pass marking he had, they're all mainly side to side or backwards, very little progressive passing at all. He had one key pass. I mean, out of 109 passes, 101 of them were accurate, so a decent accuracy rate, but they're all backwards and side to side. None of them were searching balls forward. Compare that to Sander Berge, who's on a 7.3, and he had 117 out of 119 passes accurate, so a phenomenal rate of accurate passes, most of which were going out to the wide men or going forward, and always looking up. 7.1 for Berg. I thought he actually had quite a quiet game, Patrick Berg. I don't think there was much in him, to be honest. I'm not sure why he's been given such a high score there. Sorloth on a 6.3. I mean, the only notable bit was that one offside goal, wasn't it? Which wasn't given. He came off for Oscar Bob, much improved player, 6.7. I thought he had a fantastic game in terms of being in the space, right time, places. Unfortunately, they don't necessarily consider that much at SofaScore. 9.1 for Erling Haaland with the brace. All the headlines will be going to him. 4 shots he took, obviously scored 2. He did miss a big chance, and he had that one which we just couldn't quite get on the end of it. But we don't complain too much when you score 2 goals. Noosa on a 6.4. I mean, I would complain if it wasn't for his successor, Andreas Schenderup, who got 7.2 and 2 assists, which were fine assists in all. So clearly a good inspired substitution. And that sees Norway go through to the next round. I'll be online later on tonight watching England versus Mexico with a great amount of sleep deprivation. But I'll catch you all then. If you're new around here, please do subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.